06,
So
07,
625.
1925. Oh,
You
I
might
see.
need just the
Yep,
5.
yeah.
Yeah. 3 headlines grace the front page. Government Valley Roads program to involve 152,662 eat. Glout defeats Howell in Pulitzer punch-up. Sailing under a black flag, local principal returns from long voyage. The second article confirms what the windmill told you. Sidney Glout was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for Drama for his play Hummingbird Behave.
Hmm.
Try something for me.
Um,
06, 08, 25.
I was gonna say,
You thinking the same thing I am?
yeah, I just want to find out if there's anything.
Yep, correction. Well, look at that. In a massive and unlikely error, the newspaper has run corrections for all 3 of the previous day's top headlines. Correction, Government Valley Roads program to involve 152,662 meet. Correction, Howell defeats Glout in Pulitzer punch-up. Correction, sailing under a white flag, local principal returns from long voyage. I must know. Yes, they do. They do regret. Just, sure. A humiliating edition of the paper of record carrying on its front page corrections for all of the previous day's top stories. Wait till the mill sees this. Of course, we're not going to question how the mill could possibly see anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions that are best not asked.
They're also best not answered. So basically, throw the paper away and. Ooh, woo.
Sorry, one second. Man, this is a good burrito. I have great news about the Pulitzers.
Ooh, what news, pray?
Haldie Howell, not Sidney Glout, won the Pulitzer for Drama in 1925.
No, and you aggravate my last nerve with untruths. The prize went to Piggy Glout. I read it with mine own eyes.
What eyes?
That is a most personal question, Sarah. Would you ask a young lady where are her eyes? Up here, I say, up here.
There's a correction. I read it in the newspaper.
Pah! I do not believe something I have not read myself. Sarah Gutenberg and Caxton brought us the printing press for a reason.
What reason is that?
Ooh, well, in the age before printing, it was too easy to forge checks.
Well, I have the article with the correction.
How a windmill is supposed to read a newspaper article is anyone's guess. You raise the clipping above your head and wave it vaguely. Howl for drama? Howdy howl for drama? Can this be true? Ooh, woo, woo. But of course, never was there a Pulitzer board boneheaded enough to vote for Glout. Ooh, I knew it. Ooh, woo, woo. But this is joyous news. Howell has his Pulitzer, and so the world exhales. All is restored to order. Everything, once again, is in its proper brothel.
I mean, yes, but the world is still plagued by shadow.
The wind picks up and shakes the walls. The motes of flowers suspended in the air gather and shriek upward to the ceiling.
Is this good?
Ooh, and once again I taste the sunlight and the wind, and mine appetite is restored. I hunger for life anew, sirrah, and so I move. Sidney Glout may write free, but Galileo Galilei, a per si muove, and yet I move. Yea, yea, and forever I shall. Ooh, woo, woo.
Um, it's just nice to help out a windmill every now and again.
Glout a Pulitzer winner. Jefferson lost could not write a joke so fine. Wait, Jefferson, what's that say? Is that a J? Jefferson Jost?
Yes.
Okay, fucking blurry screen. Jefferson Jost could not write a joke
Oh,
so fine.
I think I
I,
know the reason why. No, I don't know the reason why. Yes, I do not know the reason why. Sorry.
I wonder. I was so enraged by the erroneous headline that I could not read on. Might I see the rest of the article? The entire list of winners?
Oh boy, I don't want to throw him into something that will lead to the opposite of a tailspin. A
Yes, you
stop
do. Yes, you
spinning.
do. Yes, you do.
Okay.
a,
Sure.
sh- a sharp gust of wind yanks the clipping clean from your grasp. Ernest Hank for editorial. Yes, yes. Clancy, yes, I thought as much. Howdy Howell, of course. Geithner for biography. The floorboards rumble.
Everything okay?
What's this? Marnie Monet? Mornay for poetry? Mornay could not, cannot. I would rather Amore. I would rather Amore eel win the prize than that vulgarian coarsener of the tongue. You must understand she uses no punctuation at all, except question marks. Question marks, and so many of them. They are everywhere, like spots dancing in my groin.
Doesn't sound that bad to me.
A world in which Mornay has a Pulitzer for poetry? No, I cannot. I cannot bear it.
Please don't get excited. Hello? You still there? Oh well.
Um, that shard of the windmill's blade splintered off in the shape of a sword. If you can pull it from the ground, you might well become the king of this whole damned farm.
Try and do it.
Well, that was easier than it looked. A throne might be excessive.
Too late, I got one at home.
To wield this makeshift blade is to harness the wind itself. That's arguably the whole reason we have wind in the first place, to hit monsters and ghouls. That's what it's for.
Hmm. It deals extremely low physical damage to all enemies.
So it appears as though you have the melee weapon version of my cosmic sieve. Straight wave damage to everything. Now, so you know, while that says deals 4 physical damage to all enemies, the more you boost, at least I would assume, your melee attack power, the better that attack will
Hmm.
be. Because for the cosmic sieve, it works for magical boosts.
Hmm. It doesn't say what kind of weapon. It just says weapon. I don't think
Yeah,
it. I don't think
because
it is a melee weapon.
actually, let me double check real quick what my cosmic sieve is. Oh, the cosmic sieve does register as a magical weapon, and it also deals 4 damage. damage to enemies. So I don't know why yours doesn't register as a subtype.
Ah, phenomenal.
Oh, that answers that question, huh?
Sinister enough for government work.
Alright, ladies, gents, and all in between, it's endgame time. This bench has been covered in spikes, so no vagrants are tempted to sit on it. We are off and running, huh? Wander off into the desolation, rubble, and burned out buildings.
For once, I have a map!
You sure do. Jesus Lord, look at this.
The Black House.
So apparently every location is set up here. What have we got? The Municipal Amphitheater, the Vista Hill, the IRS Central Office, the Black House, the Federal Prison, the Telephony Facility, the bus stop, the Army Recruitment Center, the DMV Central Branch, the PDQ Central Office,
PDQ
and
Balls!
the Civic Ballet Theater. So, am I to assume then that wandering will not get us any extra locations? Because that would have been the first thing I would have done just for sake of getting all those out of the way. And hell, I may still do. So, the Federal Prison. On the side of a crumbling ruin, you find the remains of a nest of frost roaches. They seem to have left for greener pastures, which to them would mean a slightly less destroyed building. Still plenty of good frost left in the nest. Roaches are really inefficient with their resources. That's probably why people hate them so much.
Hmm.
Totally right.
That's not why people hate them.
The Charlestown State Pen. Some prisoner must have discarded their hat here when they were released. What does it do for us? A stripy prisoner's hat. Wearing it makes it statistically more likely that you are a robber. And that's their motif for what the hat does, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Make use of your freedom to go where you please?
No.
Someone's calling, but that's not a normal ring. Maybe an international call?
Pick it up.
He looks sad.
No, he's not bothering anyone.
But this isn't the one. I don't want to talk to him.
I understand. I'll burn the telephone then. Wait, what?
The telephone is in use.
Okay.
Somebody really doesn't know how to park.
No argument there.
This prison doesn't seem to have very good security. The door isn't even locked. Small... Small wonder they kicked this guy out of the cell blocks.
Hi, I'm Richard.
I'm Crimsley. Jim Crimsley.
Nice, nice sounds.
Thanks. Takes a lot of practice to get good at the harmonica. Of course, all I got is time.
Oh my god, a harmonica that just is... Oh, that sounds awful. Any chance you want to part with that honky horn?
And go back to playing just harmonica? Well, I'll swap it to you for a cracker.
Just a cracker? Are you that hungry?
Huh? Oh, you're new. It ain't my job to go show fish the ropes. Go ask Tetley in 1A.
Wow, that's authentic prison lingo.
Uh-huh.
Huh. He shows ropes to fish? That's a weird job. Guess I can't think of anything to ask you. See you around.
Later.
Chiropractor?
Seems like this... hold up. Sorry.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Seems like this guy's enjoying his mopping.
Hi, I'm Richard.
Hey there, I'm Moppy.
Huh, weird coincidence that your parents named you that, and here you are now, mopping.
It's a nickname. People call me that because I like to mop floors.
Yeah. I assumed it was going to be a comedic reversal. Should I have a nickname? I feel like a hip prison nickname like yours would help me fit in.
Well, I'm happy to suggest one if you want.
Sure, hit me.
How about Giggles?
Try again.
Breadsticks?
That's pretty good. But I'm looking for something that's more racist against the Irish.
Skeezix?
What kind of a name is Skeezix?
What about Wyoming? Riesling?
What does that word mean? Is that a
I
type of
believe it's
wine?
I believe it's a German alcohol.
Hmm.
Pin
Pinchy.
Pinchy?
Citizen Snips.
How does Cummerbund grab you?
Oh, that's pretty good.
I'd say yes, and I'll let you guess why.
Because it has the word cum in it.
No, because it has the word und in it. It sounds German enough.
Okay.
I mean, how disgusting, really, to accuse me of such filth.
Um, if you manage to get through this entire thing without saying something to the effect of, I'd come in her bun, then I will buy you a beer. And you won't drink it because you don't drink beer, but it's the principle of the thing.
Say, where's Simone right now? Because I'd come in her bund.
Alright, now you owe me a beer.
So will it be cummerbund?
Narco? No.
Narco
Mad
train,
Train.
maybe.
That's that's got quality behind it. You meet someone, they say, you gotta speak to old Mad Train. You know that's business. That's
Hmm,
it. I love it.
you got it. Welcome to the family, Mad Train.
I will never regret this.
If you ever need information, Mad Train, just ask me, Mad Train. I overhear all kinds of stuff while I'm mopping, Mad Train.
That's good to know. Thanks, Moppy.
This poster is labeled Bones and Things That Can Be Wrong with Them. This adds a very small amount of spa-like ambiance to the room. One of the chiropractor's less fortunate customers. This guy basically looks like a doctor.
Hi, I'm Mad Train.
Hello, I am Dr. Dixley. How can I help you?
Are you the prison physician?
Close. I'm the prison chiropractor.
What's the difference?
Well, a physician treats ailments through specific medications and treatments tailored to that ailment. A chiropractor fixes everything by pushing on your spine.
Huh, interesting. I don't want an adjustment because I know the origins of chiropractic. And it started as a religion? It started as a cult, where a
Well,
guy
thank
claimed he could fix the ghosts that were bothering you by manipulating your bones.
well, thank you for leaving me something to pioneer on my side.
Indeed. That guy has a sword, that guy's lifting weights, that's an empty bed, that guy's very unhappy to be here, and this guy is very happy to be here.
This guy looks a little shady, comparatively.
Hi, I'm Mad Train.
Hey, I'm Tetley. You want to buy a cracker?
You're selling crackers? How much?
300 meat.
For a cracker? Your crackers!
New around here, huh? Look, crackers are what we call gift certificates to the prison chiropractor. We use them as currency.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
Tetley fans out a handful of gift certificates and waves them at you. So, want to buy a cracker?
Um, is it true you show ropes to fish?
What? Where'd you hear that? Who's the dirty rattlebox that's been spreading filthy rumors about me?
Jim Crimsley.
Crimsley, eh? Well, if I get my hands on him, I'll pay someone else to get their hands on him. Thanks for your patronage, Mad Train.
We got an item, prison chiropractor gift certificate.
This certificate entitles the bearer to one complimentary spine adjustment in the prison chiropractor's office.
Um, just the one for now.
Here's a grumpy looking feller.
Hey there, I'm Mad Train.
I'm Rimmel. What do you want?
Guess I can't think of anything to ask you. See you around.
Whatever. The cell is empty. Somebody is meeting their crime quota. This guy's getting pretty buff. Well, in the arms at least.
Hi, I'm Mad Train. Can you teach me to do that?
Teach you how to lift a dumbbell?
Yeah,
Sure. For a cracker.
it's a deal.
Okay then. He passes one of his dumbbells through the bars and shows you how to bend your elbow. Ooh. You learn to exercise the way they do in prison, out of soul-crushing boredom and with a mean guy watching.
+1 muscle and +3 to melee weapon attacks.
There you go.
Thanks. Guess I can't think of anything else to else. I
That's
guess I
all,
can't
Matt
think of
Train.
anything to ask you. See you around.
That's all, Matt Train.
And this guy's got a katana.
This guy has apparently managed to smuggle in a full-length sword.
Hi, Mad Train.
Hey, Matt Train. I'm Clive.
Nice sword.
Thanks. Technically, it's a Japanese-style katana, but you knew that.
Huh. How on earth did you get a katana in here?
I made it in the prison machine shop, out of folded-up license plates.
That's a joke. Can I buy your katana?
Well, okay. I guess I can make another one. I'll swap it to you for a deck of Luckies.
Come again?
A pack of cigarettes.
Okay.
Huh. I wasn't expecting you to have them. Well, a deal's a deal. Take good care of her.
We got an item, a hand-forged katana.
The guy said he made it out of license plates, and if you look real close, you can just faintly see where it says Capital District along the edge of the blade.
Muscle +7 physical damage. That's a lot.
Sure is.
Thanks, I will. Not giving him his katana back. That's our katana.
You really like those crackers, don't you?
Go on.
Hey, Mad Train. What's up?
Any chance you want to part with that honky horn?
I'll swap it to you for a cracker.
There you go.
Alright, deal's a deal. A bicycle,
Super honky horn.
a bicycle horn with some kind of little mechanism inside that makes it constantly and annoyingly change pitch. Plays as an offhand item.
Heal your mysticality and physical damage to all enemies, and raise your team stats by 3. Thanks.
Not bad. See ya. This cell just has bones in it. They must have committed a bone crime.
Oh, I committed a bone crime once. Now I have to report to the neighbors whenever I move.
Yep, saw that one coming. It's unclear how this guy could be cooking food in his cell, but that does seem to be what he's doing.
Hi there, I'm Mad Train.
Hi, I'm Lumford.
Are you, cooking?
Yeah, dude.
Want to sell me that spatula?
Not really, but I do need a box of coffin nails.
Cigarettes?
Yeah, to help mask the flavor of whatever it is I've been cooking.
Where do you get cigarettes in here?
You can't. You'd have to be able to leave and go to a real store.
I see. Hi, I'm
Prisoner
Mad
is,
Train.
uh, prisoner's
That's
doing what
neat.
now? Yeah, well, stupid fucking screen. Nice to meet you. I'm Donna.
What are you doing there?
Levitating a scrotum.
Neat. Tell me more about your hovering orange.
Scrotum. And, well, since it's so boring in here, I've been exercising my imagination. And it turns out, if you get really good at imagining things, you can trick your brain into believing they're real. And if you get really good at that, you can make them actually real.
Wow, geez, wait a minute. If so, why are you still in a jail cell?
Well, these bars suddenly disappearing is a little harder to imagine than a floating scrotum.
I see. Can you teach me your imagination thing?
I imagine so. But this kind of power is potentially dangerous, and therefore valuable.
Sure, of course.
But you seem okay. I'll teach you in exchange for a cracker.
Never mind.
So that's 3 crackers thus far, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
counting right. And what did...
Polly wants a cracker.
Polly want a cracker? Polly want a cracker? It's Donna and her floating... Yeah. She puts you through a variety of imagination training exercises, mentally rotating tubes and so on until you finally got the hang of it.
Daydream believer.
If you get bored enough, you can change reality just by being really bored at it, and I have just seen how I'm going to get the all 13 boardwalk game.
Wow, thanks. Now I just need to find an orange.
It works on other things too.
Apples?
Whoa, 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 don't aim too high there.
Alright, alright. Guess I can't think of anything to ask you. See you around.
Okay, see ya, Mad Train.
Mad Train!
It seems to me that's going to say the same thing each time.
Yep.
This guy looks a little smug for being in jail.
Hi there, I'm Mad Train.
How's it going, Mad Train? I'm Wilmer.
Guess I can't think of anything to ask you. See you around.
Later.
Alright, here we go. A prison shiv that would use Moxie.
Yep, the third piece of that same little puzzle, huh?
Mm-hmm.
This guy's practicing the most dangerous, and therefore best, kind of juggling.
Hi, I'm Mad Train.
Hi, I'm Lewis.
Want to sell me that shiv?
I suppose I could. I'll swap you for a pack of cigs.
Maybe some other time.
See, I'm sitting here being cheap on my with my run open and buying whatever ration cigarettes I need. The guy in this cell is ignoring you, and he's doing it really hard. This dark-haired young woman glares at you while twirling a sharpened toothbrush in her fingers. Her eyelid twitches as she draws a line across her throat with the toothbrush and makes a sharp "get lost" gesture. Prisoner in this cell just stares, dead-eyed.
Hi, I'm Mad Train. How's it going? What are you in for? You okay, bud? So, how's the food in here? Getting along with the other prisoners? Just off in your own little world, huh? I guess everyone has their coping strategies. You know, I met a librarian I think you'd get along with. Guy named Ted. Real quiet. Got a single giant eyeball for a head.
It's coming for you, not her.
Okay, nice chatting. Bye now.
Looks like you found the source of that whistling.
Hi, I'm Mad Train.
Hi, I'm Mitch.
You're a pretty good whistler.
Thanks. I've been practicing ever since I swapped my harmonica to Crimsley.
What do you get in return?
Can of stash wax. Sold it to some other guy, though.
Huh, okay. Can you teach me to whistle?
I can, in exchange for a cracker. I count 4 crackers, no?
Ah, ah, ah.
Man, you're dumping some money.
Such is the price of greatness. All right, here you go.
Great. Okay, it's pretty easy. Just put your lips together, murder a guy for sleeping with your car, and get sentenced to life in prison, and blow.
Can I skip that middle bit?
I mean, I guess, but that's what worked for me. And we can guess what this skill is going to do.
Yep.
You're really good at whistling Dixie, and I ain't lying. A cork whittled to the exact shape and size of the mouth of the guy who gave it to you. Yuck.
What's the cork for?
In case you want to stop.
Okay, thanks.
Alright. What are the logistics of the fucking cork then?
I assume that, like, in combat we're going to be whistling or something, and it's going to be annoying, and they provided us with a way to stop whistling. What am I doing? I know what I'm doing.
You're getting cigarettes. Oh yeah, get those rockets if you want them.
Hmm. I didn't realize that they had added new items.
Yeah, I check the shops daily for stuff like that. I
Oh,
love it.
there should be a new... There should be a new store, right?
It would be the furthest right storefront,
That's the
the fifth
pants.
one. Yeah.
Advanced pants. Hi, I'm Richard.
Hi, I'm Nancy. If you're in the market for pants, you've come to the right place. A market for pants.
Nice. What do you got for sale?
I found only one of these particularly useful, but feel free to peruse. This is great for those. If you wear these, you'll. If you wear these, you'll find that the athleticism was in you all along, specifically in the groin and butt part of you. Durable, stylish, and comfortable, except for the comfortable. This is great for those times when you want to pretend that the bottom half of you is a moo moo.
I wouldn't have gotten that if you hadn't said it.
When these die, they'll be late bloomers.
Lol.
This swishy skirt frees your feet up for fancy work.
It's pretty good.
These roomy pants provide maximal freedom of erection. These are chaps like the gunfighters up north used to wear. A pair of pants made of durable canvas. Just don't let Salvador Dali paint one of those weird giraffes on your leg. That's not a giraffe, but thank you anyway.
Hmm.
A skirt made of durable canvas. Just don't let that Marguerite clown paint a pipe on it.
These
Man,
are
that's
some, like,
another bad one.
deep, deep cuts that I'm not getting.
These pants will keep you safe and warm as you'd be if you were riding 2 sheep, one with each leg. These secondhand pants are worn out from a lifetime of use in a coal mine. It's difficult to imagine a cooler pant. Now,
Muscle and moxie.
which of those do you think I purchased and subsequently wore?
Probably the muscle moxie pants?
That's the one. In the complete and sole interest of MStat boosting.
Yep.
Everything else boosts at most one of the MStats.
Mm-hmm.
The northern chaps don't boost any. But being that you like flooding your AP, it might be a good swappable for you. Oh?
So, why a pants in particular?
My grandmother was arrested a couple of times in the 1850s and 60s for wearing pants in public. Since then, our family has been big advocates for women's pants and equity in clothing generally.
Oh, that's a deeper answer than I was expecting. How's it working out for you?
Much better nowadays. We don't have 100% pants acceptance yet, but we're getting there.
I did notice you have some skirts for sale, too.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with a line of men's skirts, but that's proving to be a tougher sell. Men are more stubborn about their clothes, I guess.
See you later.
Racks of pants. Pairs of racks of pairs of pants. Pants on racks. Boy, you've got a buoy in your pants. Was I off
Okay.
script?
No, this is fine. Everything is fine.
Your moxie's through the roof.
What are we trying to get to? 14 in every stat?
If you're going for the sixth boardwalk game, 13.
13, you say.
And I'll mention one other thing to you. That letter opener will very much help you on your way there.
What letter opener?
Under, I guess it would be miscellaneous now, or quest item, one of the two. Yep, that.
Oh, all of that mail that we have.
That's right.
But how do you...
I'm not going to let you start smoking. How do you?
How do you... Oh, we've got one cigarette here, and then one cigarette here, and then a wet cigarette and another wet cigarette. Um, and more cigarettes.
You can sell those, by the way.
Where's all of our stolen mail? Oh, junk mail.
Yeah, that.
Go on then.
You shit the envelope and dump out its contents. Perfume advertised by mail. What an annoying time to be alive. Oh, and get this. You know how they send those pieces of paper that are fragranced in order for you to sample a perfume or whatever?
Uh-huh.
If you run it through a shredder, it's enough to activate it throughout an entire room.
Hmm. Interesting.
See, I do all of our shredding, so that's the important one right there. Look what it does.
Hmm.
This
This...
fruit ad is printed on a compressed sheet of fruit. Strangely, it's not the same kind of fruit that's being advertised. But that's a 3 booster like your Boy Scout sash.
And it's a food.
Yep. Those are the only 3 things that came in, well, my junk mail at least. But hey,
Okay.
if I ever need to quickly swap out my food boost, I can swap right back with as many of those ads as I've got. You eat the flattened fruit in no time flat. It's mostly sugar. And
Early food.
in total, you are 1 point short of the combined 39 you need to get to 13 all. Have you potioned? Yeah, have you potioned yet?
I have not.
Have you gotten alcohol yet?
I believe so.
Okay.
But I also don't believe we've pet a cat yet. Hmm.
Well, fragrant spores will give you mysticality.
I'm looking to see if there's anything that gives two things.
Well, there's the bubbling black sludge gives you mysticality plus your favorite.
Mm-hmm. But we're still down. Hmm. I don't think anything else increases any of your.
Not at the moment. You already went through all the stuff in your room, right?
Oh, I think so. Yes.
Yeah, looks like you did. Um, I would swap out loving thyself with the
Yeah.
with the muscle alternative.
When you're right, you're right. Undefeatable.
All right, cool. So now you need mysticality more than anything else. Um, what else are you drawing Moxie from?
The weathered jeans, unfortunately.
Um,
But I can't. No, I should be fine. A potion and a cat, and I'll be at 13.
cool. So where is the? I believe the mysticality cat is at the Birch House.
Magical Mr. Mysticality. Boop
Dirch,
boop boop.
Dirch, not Birch.
Ishmael.
So he's in the northwest of Ocean City. Oh, Ishmael. All right, right. Just that potion, and you'll be there. I'm going to go take a quick piss while you contemplate which mysticality potion you want.
Indeed. The first card represents your past. Oh my, it's the Queen of Coins. Oh my, what does that mean? This card regards a piece of unfinished business in your infancy involving a fire. I don't remember anything like that. The second card is about your present, but not a crimbo present like the present. Ooh, this is the ostentatious astronomer. Oh, please hold 1 second while I fix OBS. Oh my, what does that mean? This one means you're having your fortune told. Yes, that is true. The last card reveals your future. She draws a card, which she drops to the floor. She draws another card. The Mistress of Boars. What does the Mistress of Boars represent? In your future, I see a great danger? I think it's danger. Alright, I'll keep an eye out for that. You spend a few moments thinking about the tarot reading. Ha! And we got the perk Skeptical. Which means we don't even need a potion!
The downside to drinking quantities of water.
So I got it without even drinking a potion.
How'd you do that?
Went to get my tarot read and came away skeptical of tarot in general, which gave me +1 mysticality for the day.
Ooh, noted. Alright. Game skills, test your everything. Oh man, I was hoping you'd come back. And I'm not just saying that as a carny who wants people to pay 10 meat to play his games. Only 2 people have ever beaten our 6th challenge. And kid, I think you might be the 3rd.
What's the challenge?
Crack a short message encoded with a military-grade cipher while crushing a cinder block with your forehead and juggling these 3 live cobras.
Does it still count if I get bitten?
Strictly speaking, yes, but I don't recommend it.
Okay!
The carny gestures theatrically to a cinder block and a hissing wicker basket, then starts tapping out dots and dashes on a telegraph key. You gingerly pick up the basket and toss the snakes into the air, grabbing and juggling them before they get a chance to react. Beep 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 hiss. Beep beep beep.
Okay, a B is a G and a V is a P.
Beep 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 beep. Beep
A
beep beep
G is
beep.
a T and a P is a B.
Beep 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 beep. Beep 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 beep. Beep
Drink
beep
your
beep.
Ovaltine. What on earth does that mean?
Don't forget the cinder block.
Alright.
Magnifico! Brilliant! Just toss the snakes back into the basket there, and I'll give you your prize.
Do 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 do. We get an item, a shiny plastic crown.
A child's plastic ground plated in genuine 24 karat gold.
+6 spooky armor.
That might,
Hooray!
that might be pretty impressive if not for that book. So now what? Is there a 15? Oh my god. I don't see myself ever getting there. Here he is, our current champion of skills. Are you ready to face the final challenge? Level 7, the feat that nobody has ever beaten before. All you have to do is untie this Gordian knot
Oh, that's easy.
without cutting it,
Oh.
while using a compass and straight edge to construct a square with the same area as a given circle,
But that's...
and break this raw egg by yelling at it.
No thanks. For now.
Well, not with that attitude, you won't.
What?
How in the hell do we get to 15 apiece? Boy. Well, let's see what we have today. We have a whiplash rubberneck, a root beer taffy,
Got quite a few of those.
a singing lungfish,
I like that a lot.
liver oil.
I don't know what that is.
The fishermen carry little vials of this stuff around to protect their skin from the open air.
Hmm.
A pinafore halibut. A truck roll. A wallaby sprat. Smelled in the sprat, they know where it's at.
Hmm.
A saddleback viceroy.
What is a viceroy? Like, I know it's a political position, but I don't really know what it is.
Uh, something beneath an ambassador, I would guess. A whirling dervish. A bathypelagic cusk eel. You want to try?
uh,
You want to try fishing again?
sure. Ding.
An erect penis.
That's correct.
A soft vulva. An undulating cuttlefish.
Hmm. Fella could have a real good time with those three things.
I have since cracked the mystery of that bouncer outside the brick building.
Oh, I always assumed he was a mafia guy.
He is.
And I assume that I can't do anything with him because I'm not part of the mafia.
Correct. Because of your life choices, you will never be able to move him.
That's fine.
Yeah, there are things that I'm not going to be able to do either. Like, for one thing, I intentionally failed the murder mystery way back when, so.
Hmm. Trying to remember if
Yeah,
there's anything around here that I need to do.
you're doing the whistling.
Oh, I bet whenever there's music, you whistle along to it.
Hmm.
Have we added a razor blade to our gun?
I mean, I've done it, but grow a testicle to aid you in combat.
Mmm, fish zester.
You have such an amount of stuff.
I don't think this has gotten a razor blade yet. Say it!
Okay. You're currently wielding a beamed up, flaming sharp, and hefty short circuiting electric prod gun. You want to stick the razor to it?
Yes!
You affix the disposable razor blade to your flame and sharpened hefty short-circuiting electric prod gun, by which the transitive property of disposability becomes disposable itself.
Oh, that sounds bad.
Now you're carrying a disposable beamed up, flame and sharpened hefty whatever the short-circuiting electric mouthful.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Pretty cool. Okay.
Ah, Richard.
Sorry, no time to talk.
I'm still pissed there are certain things it doesn't let you sell. How much extra money could I get off of all those rings I will never ever use, ever?
Alright. Anything else that I need to do? No, I don't think so.
Did you get all the smokes you need?
I believe so.
You hear hooting and yelling nearby, and look, the game's nearly over. It's not like you're going to learn not to investigate this kind of stuff now. It turns out to be a small band of roving and or raving maniacs. Seems like maybe their minds got corrupted by the shadow and they aren't reacting very well to it. I guess I'm just assuming. Scream out all your teeth might just be like a fun thing they're into. A hobby.
Hmm.
Jesus.
Okay. Should have led with the knife in the dark.
Hmm.
Major overkill.
Shit. Shit. Ew.
Spider on spider violence.
Leave him be. The sacks will kill him. You punch too high, Clarence.
A
My, my God, how much poison does that thing have?
lot.
How much was that?
Quite a bit.
What the f... maybe a force nap will scrub everything I'm about to visualize here. So you just got another familiar. Finally,
Indeed.
a knife-wielding maniac on your side. Awfully late in the game to be getting one of those, and obviously it is quite insurmountably weak for this stage.
Yep.
You reject all structures and regulations, even the ones that make it possible for items like this to be mass-produced and sold at retail. I will have to make note of this for that little mouse in the basement of SIT.
Mm-hmm.
A paper-wrapped slab of utilitarianism in dairy form. They must have made a lot of this stuff for it to still be around all these years after the cows came home. Oh, my back.
You need to lay down or crack it,
Nope.
or
Nope, I'm good.
can I offer you a cracker in these trying times?
I'd much prefer you walk all over my back, but you know. Thanks. These are going to be much trickier to juggle.
Ooh, an artisanal shiv.
It's not always just about stabbing a guy. Sometimes it's about vengefully stabbing a guy for making fun of the craftsmanship of all of your previous shivs.
Thanks. You know,
About,
this harkens back to our first main weapon, which was the gladiator leaf.
I remember, but this is much stronger.
Indeed. Thanks. Can't think of anything else to ask you, so see you around.
Bye.
Right, the spatula. Here you go.
Alright. I suppose I can always get another spatula, eh? Here you go.
Makeshift prison spatula.
This used to be something else, but with patience and ingenuity, it was converted into a pretty bad spatula. Plus
Thanks.
7, pretty much par for this point in the game.
Yep. How's your food?
Thanks to those smokes, I have no idea.
Guess I can't think of anything else to ask you. See you around.
Fuck off.
Known crimes.
This door has a big, complicated looking keypad lock on it. You're not getting in there. A generous chemical company has donated some toxic waste for the prisoners to enjoy. These rocks are cold for some reason. It's even more bleak and depressing that-a-way. Somebody's long abandoned herb garden. This guy seems pretty good at lifting weights.
Hey, Mad Train.
Hey, I'm Bruno.
Well, nice meeting you.
This guy's having some kind of fun time.
Hi there, I'm Mad Train.
Hiya, I'm Vinny.
I like your weird bowl.
First time I ever heard that. Yeah, I had to invent this, because we hadn't got a basketball hoop.
Ah, I see. Any chance I could buy that nifty basketball string dealie from you?
Hmm, alright, I'll sell it to you for a cracker.
Never mind. For now.
I count 5 crackers up to this point, and I'm wondering if I'm going to need a 6th one for that chiropractor.
You will. Oh, I'm out of meat. Which means...
You only need 14 extra meat. You could probably sell any of your completely obnoxiously overboard mountain of consumables. I mean, the fish in the sack is a sell item for Christ's sakes. Or the cigarettes if you want to sell them. You're going to sell your AP blintzes? I was not expecting that. You have your 300. You don't gotta.
Hmm.
I will take this opportunity to lie down briefly. I will take this opportunity to get back up.
Wow.
You find yourself in front of a forbidding building. The crumbling ruin of some old government office, its bureaucrats now replaced with regular rats. You poke around through the saddled office. The saddled offices and hallways, lamenting the fall of the reliable old structures we once depended on. Is this really the future? They sigh. A couple minutes later, you find an old safe full of meat, and your mood improves dramatically due to the short-term windfall. Oh, that
Woohoo!
sucks. If your next wander got you that money, you didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, such is life. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. Mess hall. Exercise yard.
Vinny's still here playing string ball.
Here you go.
Nice. And here you go.
Basketball on a string.
A basketball on the end of a rubber string so you can dribble in any direction you want. That's not bad.
Yeah.
The sign on the counter says one slop per customer. This prisoner seems determined to eat more pepper than food.
Hi there, I'm Mad Train.
Hi, I'm Nora.
Ooh, nice spice jar.
I need this one so I can keep eating here without dying of boredom. I have a similar gadget I can sell you, though. She shows you an elaborate mechanical pepper mill. I made it in the prison machine shop, but I decided I prefer a traditional shaker. I'll give it to you for a cracker.
I don't think I should be able to do this trade because I just gave away a cracker, but maybe it didn't I minus minus like it should have. Sounds good.
Sweet. Sweet. Maybe I can trade this for some decent food. Never
Automatic
again,
pepper mill.
never again will you get a sore elbow after spending hours cranking an old-fashioned pepper mill.
Ooh.
That's not bad.
That's really quite good.
Hmm.
I think there's been a distinct lack of hobo code at this prison.
They haven't been able to catch the hobos, remember?
Mmm.
Without even looking at you, the man slaps a dollop of slop onto a plate and hands it to you.
We got prison slop.
This prison figured out how to improve their efficiency by serving their prisoners a blended up combination of bread and water. Oh, Jesus God.
Isn't that basically just oatmeal?
Not quite. The oats hold up much better than fucking soggy bread. Oh my God.
Hmm.
Sorry, give me a second. That's a little nauseating. I'm not good with consistency, you know. Oof. Oh, hold up just a second here. I need to shake that. Okay. All right. So that's a total so far of 7 crackers.
But one of them seems to be you can use it twice.
Hmm.
The ball on a stick appears to not take the cracker from you.
Hmm. I'll have to keep a watch on that.
Yeah.
Creaking and gibbering, a horrible half animal, half plant, half alien, half shadow creature slithers out of the darkness. It makes a high pitched noise and starts sliming its way toward you. If it turns out that this thing is actually from some ancient hyper intelligent progenitor race, I hope they're at least a little embarrassed about how gross they are.
We should be able to banish these things. I'm wearing
You know,
the banishing ring specifically for this reason.
unless this creature's not entirely shadow and that's why it doesn't take.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, lie down vibes.
Damn it. One of these days I'll remember to knife people in the dark early on in the combat.
Hmm.
Nice. Okay, we're looking pretty good here. What a jerk. Good turn, though.
Excellent work. Here I come.
Hey, try and keep this all above terms of service for Twitch.
Jesus, I wasn't blowing anybody. Anyway. So, Vista Hill. It's made of some kind of strange metal you've never seen before. It's opaque, but still somehow glowing from within, like a math book that swallowed a candle. It's cool to the touch, yet radiates a kind of warmth. This doesn't feel like a typical cubic art project. Why build it in an otherwise abandoned area? One of those pay telescopes. But a better look at any of the scenery around here is of no value at all. That strange structure is the only interesting thing in the area. Search for excitement elsewhere?
No.
An ordinary phone booth. Done. A movement catches the corner of your eye, and you turn to see several tall, long-limbed figures gliding towards you. They twist and twirl as gracefully as ballerinas as they approach, but this beauty is contradicted by their heads, which are indescribable shadows. And I'm not using indescribable as a horror cop-out. I'm literally uncertain about what's going on in their head area. They have, like, a winged collar? Or maybe side horns? But I think that's a mouth on it? Fuck if I know. Fight them and see for yourself, it's weird. You got any holy water on you? Whoa! Jesus God.
I told you the pepper grinder was good.
I was not expecting that to end so quickly. Guess their pas de deux was a pas de don't. So, is that another familiar?
It is.
Damn, a horrifying little crimbo buddy. A garment meant to draw attention to your gams rather than leave them to the imagination. This is a tea that ballerinas drink to suppress their appetites and help them stay fit. You sure hope that within the next 100 years or so, society starts to broadly reject shit like this. Curiously, these shoes are designed to facilitate terrible foot damage instead of preventing it.
Nice.
I have seen ballet dancers walk. I'm very curious what their interpretation would be.
I
Alright.
assume it's just twirling around.
Hmm. Okay, so let's.
It's walking on the tips of the toes.
Yes, I see. These are like fire ants, only more so. You collect all the ant bits that are cool enough to touch. Of all the debunked,
Sorry.
show concerted effort to get out of this jam. This is both a tragedy and an opportunity. You catch pieces one at a time until you have a whole handful.
A handful of popcorn.
You painstakingly recover this popcorn, one kernel at a time, from a burning truck. You should eat the popcorn you've got before grabbing any more. Good move. There's that strange ring again. Good, he's up. Do you like to play with matches, caller?
Sure, we all do.
This is not the one. I understand. I will no, I want this telephone. Then I will get it for you.
Hey, wait.
The telephone is silent now. A burning bush. Do you want to join in this extremely violent dance?
I think this is probably an infinite fight.
Might be, but let's see that fucking toaster in action again. Yeah, that thing. That is a weapon.
A weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
Hmm. Yeah, you're probably right. Shame we can't attack the band, though.
Indeed.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
The
I get
lead
the
singer.
pun now.
The lead singer.
The possessed person? Yep.
Amazing. I mean, truly.
What enemy type do you think we'll find at the ballet theater? Actually,
What
yep,
archetype, you say?
I do have the Shadow Banishing Ring.
You asked what archetype?
Yep.
Uh, it's gonna become a harem anime, I'm sure. Simone stops for a moment to look around at all the identical gray concrete buildings of Government Valley. You know, people think robots are heartless, but they aren't.
How do you mean? You think they have emotions?
No, no, nobody's figured out how to program real emotions yet. Probably we never will because programming is logic and emotions are the opposite of that. But everyone I know who makes robots, we act like they do have emotions. We give them cute names and say they're happy when they work right and grumpy when they don't. We put hearts into them, if you see what I mean. A heart or a soul or whatever. It isn't just internal to something or someone. It's also how other people feel about them, how they exist in other people's perceptions.
This is too heavy for me. What brought this on?
These big concrete boxes, this is the real heartlessness, I think. The people who made this place, they don't really care about anyone, not even themselves.
And ding! Simone's mysticality increased.
The government
Behold!
the government ballet theater. Languorous flossed fries nest in the cracks of this frigid column. You carefully harvest some of the fries' frigid nest materials. You stumble upon some freshly abandoned snacks tucked into a recess of this concrete bench. A shadow hot dog and a shadow beer. Good as new. Here we go again.
Hello!
It's for you. That isn't him. I am there in his house now. I am there with him. This is not him. I'll burn the telephone then.
Stop doing that. These telephones are expensive.
This rock is extremely cold, but that's all you know about it because you're not a rock expert.
Infinite combat!
Want to hop on stage and join the terrible show? Now, your little pepper toaster worked pretty well against those shadow heads. Oh my god. Weak against hot damage, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Times 8, apparently.
Wait a minute, this is new. Oh no,
Despite
it
its
isn't.
limited despite its limited coverage, you're confident that this thing will keep you warm.
Was the other tutu... No, the other tutu was not smoldering.
I don't believe it was, no. You really told those dancers to go jump in a lake. Perhaps, Swan Lake? You're having too much fun with this, aren't you? 208?
Yep, it's a lot of damage.
I think you've just found your chosen grinding spot, haven't you?
Yeah, it's maybe safe to say.
Jesus Lord.
Aha, new tutu.
As shredded as your exposed thighs will look when you're wearing it.
Nice.
An elegant cake adorned with what you sincerely hope are fake feathers.
Oh, I have not eaten a food yet.
You haven't? Yeah, you have. That's how you got up to
Oh,
the stats you needed for the game.
I have not drunk a
You haven't.
potion yet.
I don't believe you're carrying anything that would boost all 3 M stats.
No.
At least I don't know of any that exist yet, and I don't think I know of any twofers that exist either.
Mm-hmm. Not using mercury eye drops.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to boost Mysticality, you may as well use a Mysticality Plus. The Use is one. The Fairy Dust, or whatever that was called, is a Mysticality Plus as well.
I'm tempted to eat some of the unidentified. I know those were foods. This is unidentified chemicals, I see.
I mean, you've only got one.
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst that can happen? You lose all of your stats? Fragrant Spores, that's the one I was thinking of. As far as I'm concerned, physical armor is beside the point now. You drink the substance, which is entirely unlike tea. Tea is a liquid, for one thing.
Slurp, slurp.
You're feeling pretty agitated from that sludge, which means it either had some residual caffeine in it, or something so dangerous and toxic that your body is running a constant low-grade panic attack. Slurp, slurp. Take a nerp. Melchior the Nutcracker. I'm still
Uh,
proud of the name I assigned my dough baby.
which is
Cum Puff.
Jesus criminy Christ.
I subsequently sold him, so he's somebody else's problem now.
You sold your
A garment meant to draw. Oh yeah, that was the first one you found, I think.
Okay.
He's literally the only familiar that I've been able to sell at this point.
I guess because you can just bake a new one if you need to.
Yeah, I
Um,
assume so, but you don't actually have to because you can just rebuy him if you have enough meat. He's not the kind of item that you sell and it just disappears into oblivion when you leave the store.
mm. Oh, surprisingly, Slee's armor is our lowest.
I mean, at this point, surely you have the XP to do something about it.
Indeed.
Three, 3 points is something.
Alright, that's looking much better. Hmm.
Sachet away.
Time to bow out.
A howl splits the air and reverberates through your guts, the entire length of your guts. A massive black dog, or something that once was a dog, or something that was never a dog. Oh, fucking no. Stalks out of an alleyway and opens its mouth to reveal an entire Expo Center knife show's worth of fangs.
Round one. Fight!
Now, this thing is pure shadow. How come you can't banish? What the fuck
Right?
gives
That's
here?
what I want to know.
What gives here? Unfortunately, your pepper spray didn't do the job this time. At least not all the way. Looks like this one might take a minute.
That's that for the dog. Go, my spidery friend! Man, the spider is pretty effective here.
Mm.
I didn't need to do that. He was already super damaged. Oh, but the spider will take care of this.
All right. On the move. On the move. On the mend, ideally, but on the move nonetheless. Bad dog.
And look at all that loot we got. Look at all that amazing loot.
I know. Pretty good, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's another one of those sculptures. PDQ balls!
You can't get inside. Somebody swiped the steps. Real shame they. Well, your move. It's a real shame they shut down the Sorry, one moment. It's a real shame they shut down the Betero Furo of Defenstration.
Defenestration.
Masturbation. It's another nearly identical sculpture. You're not really sure what it is or what purpose it serves. It's made out of the same weird metal. Very strange.
It's not ringing.
Just ignore it. No, I said ignore it. No, ignore it. Walk past.
Listen, you.
In a deserted public square, you come upon a towering obsidian statue of a mean-looking army guy named General Bruise. You tackle the statue with enough force to knock it over. It shatters into a million glistening fragments, each of which you individually stomp on. Takes quite a while.
Move along.
Some cryptophilic flies are buzzing around in the frigid water spraying from this hydrant.
Cryophilic. Cryophilic flies.
You carefully scrape the delicate frost off of the fly's wings. There's some gross fungus on this column. They're calling again.
Hello?
What will you do on a rainy day? When your house is on fire, how will you get out? When you are in the train, who will save you? Do you like green eggs and ham?
What do you mean when my house is on fire?
This isn't him. I understand. Do you want this telephone or shall I burn it? Give it! Give it to me!
At least tell me who you are, either of you. Ah, god damn it.
Depart, making voyages?
DMV?
You want to go inside this building on purpose?
Yes.
You won't budge. Probably just as well. You ain't even got a car. Actually, hold up. Did you check the car? Looks like somebody failed their not abandoning your car test. Okay. I was hoping maybe there'd be a key in there or something. Simone pauses by a chain link gate blocking off an alley. Hang on a sec. This office building left their dumpster open.
You got a coffee grounds and used typewriter ribbons?
Hardy har. Sometimes they throw out whole typewriters, adding machines, all kinds of tasty loot. Give me a boost. You help Simone over the fence, and she returns with a variety of self-looking parts. Use, huh? Useful looking once you get all the coffee grounds cleared off, anyway.
Two anarchist hardware is pretty good.
Yeah, we've seen all this. The soda machine has knocked itself over in an act of conscientious objection.
Let's see if there's any soda left.
There is, but only one.
Ooh, so all the previous soda has been red or blue, relics from the old war. This
What
is
is this?
modern army soda.
What is this, the combined army? The can says this isn't your father's cola, which is a bold move considering how many of today's soda drinkers lost their fathers in the cola wars. This car is in great shape, except for one thing. Wander off into an endless expanse of abandoned cars, about a quarter of which are on fire? Not really selling it, huh?
Nope.
They're calling again. Despite being made of stone, this chunk of rubble is infested with termites. Aha! They're Arctic termites. They must have mistaken the stone for ice. You gather up some of their spore. You know, for later.
Of course.
This rock doesn't belong here. Does it bother you? What? Having to make all of these telephone calls. Oh, listen, it's him. What did you say?
Nothing.
He looks sad. Ah, he's not bothering anybody. Let's burn him and see what he does. Um, shit. The door to the Army recruitment office is square, olive drab, and menacing. Just like the Army itself. Hey-oh! It won't budge. Probably just as well. You have zero credentials for joining the military.
Have you seen my gun?
This is my rifle. This is my gun.
This one's for shooting. This one is for fishing stuff out of the toilet.
Well done. Good for you. You encounter another group of those guys whom you might characterize as cultists, except you can't imagine them carrying out any ceremony more somber and intricate than set each other on fire while yelling. But hey, I'm not a religious type. What do I know? Wonder how that little toy of yours will do against them. Okay. It doesn't leave them with a great deal of power.
Looks like a clean sweep.
Yeah, sure does.
Didn't even have to break out my gun.
Meh. Alright, so yours is the IRS, which I'm guessing for you is plot. Mine is the DMV. So here's what I'm thinking about those three buildings. The IRS, the DMV, and the...
PDQ!
What was the third? PDQ. I'm guessing those
PDQ
three buildings...
balls.
Yeah, so I'm guessing all of those depend on your subclass. I chose Cheese Wizard and need to get a license renewed. You chose
Jazz agent?
Jazz Agent, and you owe them money.
Hmm.
So I'm guessing whatever number 3 would have been would get you into the other building. So basically, whichever class you choose, determines which of these three buildings A you can access and B is plot. That's my theory anyway. Hey, briefcase, full of meat. It's amazing what people will throw away if you oppress them enough. This tree is dead and cold like a cold, dead tree. They must have gotten tired of being attached to a car.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
That brick has sprung a leak, and hopefully next year's model will be right side up. You are out of questions. Will you make a guess now? I don't have any more questions or guesses.
Can I guess?
It is me. I am your dream date. What? I have been your dream date the whole time. If I hang up, will you find me? Yes, I know where you are.
Congratulations, I think.
Silence. The line is dead. Maybe that's for the best. Ask not for whom the windmill rings.
Hang up.
Or. Uh, this payphone technology is amazing. Make your way through the debris and such as some buildings destroyed in more interesting ways?
No.
The local branch of the IRS is looking pretty run down. You'd think they'd have plenty of funds for upkeep. Maybe that isn't how it works. You take a deep breath and settle your nerves. Clearly, this is a trap. It's possible that you did underpay your taxes by 13 meat, but to get a notice about that now is much too much of a coincidence. Terrence Poindexter must be up to something. But if you don't step through that door, you'll never find out what. Yeah, what else is out there? Let's do that last. Oh, while you're here, yeah. Yeah, while you're here, deposit that cheese. I'm guessing that's what you're aiming at.
Mm-hmm.
The rat nibbles part of the wrapper off of the block of cheese and gives it a good sniff. He nods at you, drags the block into his hole, giggity, and comes back a few seconds later with his gift.
Oh man, I have an incomprehensible single panel from a comic for you.
Oh?
It's truly incomprehensible. Let me find it. I'm gonna
Hmm.
send it to you. You're not gonna be able to say what it says here, but we are gonna be able to get your live reaction to this. Okay, so let me find it. I found it. I'm copying it.
Are you
I
about to say?
am,
Are you about to send something I won't be able to say because TOS?
yes.
Oh, cool.
Just
My
silently
favorite.
read this conversation to yourself.
My favorite kind of thing. What is this? Let me pull it up here so I don't have to minimize my screen share. All right, what is this?
Thank you for your service.
Fucking A.
Are you okay?
No! What kind of question is that? Jesus.
I really want to know what the actual fuck the context is for that.
Do you? Do you
Yes,
really?
absolutely.
May I ask why?
Because I'm so baffled. I'm so perplexed by the whole thing.
Hmm. By the way, this particular side quest bit can be done infinitely.
Yep, I'm aware.
Hmm. I don't know what it'll take to remove the cheese side quest.
Also, I feel like I fucked up somehow with the stone. Yeah, with this one. I feel like I should be able to do something here.
Let me find out. We're close enough to the end of the game.
Like, there's a portal to the other direction, the other dimension right there. And
Shadows over Loathing. Lambda House? Let's see.
lambda iota theta? Yes.
Uh, you did not take the geology course, correct?
Correct.
You need it.
Okay, well,
So you're locked out, despite your life choices.
okay. But then why? What do you get for being the entomologist? Where's the justice?
Well, you got the you got the infinite house that I didn't. I don't know which life choice specifically that had to do with.
I think that was for uh majors. How's it going, Glordo?
Oh, another day, another flashback to the atrocities of war. Did you bring my treat, bruh?
Yep, I got it right here. Thanks.
This little vial is stamped with a serial number and a list of complicated and scary sounding chemical names. Don't mention it. Unless you decide you want more later, in which case, mention it. Don't
Got it.
talk to him again unless you want to do this again.
Yep. All right.
Is this the time?
What else could we possibly do?
I haven't been to the finale, so I'm not sure.
Well, first
Oh,
off, let's make sure that all of our equipment is as we want it.
also, we haven't explored. There are two locations we've not explored yet.
That's right, the telephonic facility and the White House.
An ordinary phone booth. Yet another copy of this strange metal thing. One was weird enough, two was insane, but three of them? That's an outright mystery. Standing tall in the wreckage of a burned out garage is a statue of your nemesis, the sinister accountant Terrence Poindexter. It's like he was put there to quantify the damage. You scribble an obscene but earned remark on the account's clipboard. This gate is seriously locked.
Have you unlocked this gate yet?
I haven't even been to Government Valley yet. The action here is clearly not in that direction. Some strange force prevents the cursed key from going inside this lock. What is this gate made of?
I have wanted to use this key twice, and both times it has not let me.
Both times you've been cock-blocked.
You're blocking my cock, man.
Well, another group of those shadow maniacs rounds the corner. You know what they're like? They're a lot like the zombies in one of those movies where the zombies aren't actually undead. They're just people with really angry bitey disease so that they can run real fast. Sorry, I guess that comparison isn't germane to the setting. I don't even know if zombies exist as a concept in 1928. I ain't gonna look it up, though. Can you feel it?
Can you feel the love tonight?
It is where we are. How many turns does he get?
3. It's a good skill. If
Oh,
Because I lack wave damage, it's nice just having him act 3 times.
I see. Very nice. Okay.
Now, do I want to replace the ring, or do I want to wear the ring to banish shadows, which isn't working here?
That's been pretty ineffective up to this point. I would suggest another ring. One that'll improve your fighting, because I'm sure you're gonna have to. There are a lot of forms here. What the Jesus God. These must be procedurally generated. Which one do you want? I'm gonna guess that picking a random form willy-nilly is not gonna do the job.
These
So,
are. It does look like these are randomly generated.
hmm. Alright, so they didn't tell us which form we needed in the communique, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
A paper shredder, here by the grace of prolific inventor Abbot Augustus Lowe. This clerk is standing patiently behind a thick pane of bulletproof glass. It's one of those horrifying guillotine paper cutters. Can I help you, sir?
I sure hope so. I got this notice in the mail about overdue taxes.
Hold it up to the glass, please. Yes, all right. You'll need to file the proper form with your payment.
I was afraid of that.
Blank forms are in the rack on the left side of the room.
Which form do I need?
Oh, it'll be clear from the serial number.
Sure.
This clerk is muttering quietly to himself. Hereby notarize this form on the date, and this clerk is fidgeting with a cigarette lighter behind his gently smoking counter. Yeah, this lady is staring blankly into space. Her hands are covered in bandages. What can I do for you? By the way, that titanium staple remover we picked up back at SIT?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's a way to get that to her. We might have to do some arse kicking, but
Loose integers. The fuck?
I think it's a quest item. This envelope isn't sealed. You slide it open with ease. Dad, all anyone cares about in
Uh,
this family
Sorry.
is is bullshit. There it
Yep.
is. Hmm. All right. This clerk is just staring off into space.
Form I-11.
An incomprehensibly complicated tax form. How do you figure that?
Hmm. So you think I should fight the stapler lady?
I mean, I intend to. Well, actually, you know what? I won't be able to get into this building, so It would be. You're the one to pioneer this, or not. The choice is yours.
I don't particularly feel the need to fight any of these people.
They're IRS agents. I absolutely feel the fucking need to fight them.
That's a conservative brainwashing technique to because yes, while the IRS makes us fill out all these silly tax forms, they actually don't. It's Congress that makes us fill out the silly tax forms, and
They
then and then they blame the IRS for what they've done, and then say, shouldn't we defund the IRS because they're evil? And then they defund the IRS, and nothing changes for us, but rich people get to skate along without paying their goddamn taxes.
these people made a choice to work for them.
I guess this is also the evil IRS. I'm not so sure that they have, because all these people look like they've been hollowed out by the curse, and are mere puppets for a greater malevolence. Anyway, kiss your local IRS agent. But this one is a horrible void zombie.
Oh, for Christ's sakes. This form starts with the letter I.
Is that a problem?
I'm only certified to fold forms that start with the letter C. The other folders are off today.
Yeah, okay. I'm okay with that.
You've already got a form, an I-11 to be precise. Take that, bureaucracy.
C24. Fold me.
Let's see. C. Ah, yes, there it is. C. That checks out. I'll fold it for you now. He carefully folds the document into thirds. There you are.
Staple me.
This form ends with the number 4.
Is that a problem?
You need a form that ends with an odd number. Even numbered forms don't get stapled. For crying out loud. Jesus God. This feels too real, don't you think?
Alright. C81.
There was actually another viable candidate. 1235 was up there too.
Fold me, baby, one more time.
Yes, this seems to be in order. I'll staple it for you now.
Stapled and folded, aren't we getting fancy?
Yeah.
Do I need you to sign this form?
No, I'm a singer.
Singer. Huh, no offense, but I bet they're really boring songs.
Well, no, singer in the context of the line you just read. I'm a singer. A singer. I singe forms.
Oh, I see. Wait, no, I don't. Why is that necessary?
Why is anything necessary? It's what I do here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Nope, sorry. I can only notarize forms that are singed, folded, and stapled.
Singe me, baby, one more time.
Nope, sorry. I can only singe forms that start and end with an even number. Alright,
Uh,
it's time for ass kicking.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how a pacifist would do this.
I'm not sure because an impassable double standard has just been presented.
Indeed. The violence will continue until morale improves! Yes! Double
That's like saying
kill!
that's like saying the break room will be locked until morale improves.
Is that a thing that happened at your workplace?
No, it happened on a game I played as a youth.
As a Ute?
A little Mac game called Harry the Handsome Executive. Cute little game, but the novelty got kind of dry after a while.
Hmm.
Is it weapon time or is it item time? Could you fuck him up with sleaze damage?
Yes.
Hmm. Whoa.
We'll be fine.
Well, this should be the end, so. Oh, not quite. That's the end. You sung that singer pretty good. A gently smoking counter. Singer is gone, so you're free to use the singeing tools, by which I mean his cigarette lighter. And
Smoking.
apparently nobody's going to say anything about this. Looks to be in order for you. Yes, I can notarize this for you. The fee will be 1,000 meat.
1,000 meat, are you serious?
There are other notaries in the world. Maybe you can find a cheaper one.
Did we find another notary anywhere else in the world?
Not as far as I know. Great, thank you. I'll notarize it for you now. Here I go. I hereby notarize this form on this date and in this place, under the terms of my office as a notary public for the Capital District.
Thanks. She's not going to accept it.
Yes, this looks to be in order. That will be 13 meat plus an 11% fine and an 11% processing fee, which comes to 15.86 meat, rounded up to 16 meat. Just toss it to me over the glass, please. You toss the meat to the clerk. She catches it and puts it in a drawer, then makes some notes in a ledger. Payment received. Richard, Recluse, 16 meat. Now just take your form over there to the right through the giant hovering mouth.
Though, what did you say?
The fluorescent lights flicker. All of the remaining clerks vanish. You turn slowly to the right and see a giant demonic mouth hovering in the air, a few yards away.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? A gnashing maw of shadow. It seems to want to swallow you.
You know what? It's been a while. I wouldn't mind.
A paper shredder here by the grace of prolific inventor Abbott Augustus Lowe. You're gonna shred it?
Nope.
After all that? Are you are you averse to being swallowed? The door is bolted from the inside. You can only leave through that terrible mouth. Slice off a bit of your form. Slice a bit more off of your form.
Oh, that's how you do it. Because We just made it made it comport with the notary or the Sinja rather.
Ah, good find.
Indeed.
The demonic mouth spits you out into a sparsely decorated office, assuming bookshelves filled with identical ledgers counts as decoration. The whole room is sterile and boring, and it reminds you of Terrence Poindexter, partly because of the sterile boringness, but he's also standing in it. Is it finally time to deal with this jerk off, once and for all?
Yes, yes it is.
Each of these books contains .24 of the municipal tax code. Terrence glares at you and adjusts his necktie haughtily. The necktie isn't pictured, but yes, of course he's wearing a necktie. Ah, Richard Recluse. You've fallen into my trap, right on schedule.
Brave words considering how I kicked your ass in the swamp.
And in so doing, you taught me everything I needed to know about you. Your moves, your tricks, your tactics. You have no surprises left for me.
Well, if you think I'm gonna switch allegiances and join your Dark Crusade or whatever, you've got another thing coming. Another think coming.
I wasn't going to ask. I despise you.
Fine, I despise you too.
As expected.
Fine.
You hold out your empty hands and take a few casual steps forward.
Look, let's not be hasty. We aren't so different, you and me. I'm sure we can settle this like thoughtful people.
A thin knife drops out of your sleeve and into your hand as you quickly stab at Poindexter's liver. But his liver isn't there. He stepped to the side before your attack even started. He smiles thinly at you. You slash at him, but his hand is already moving. He taps your wrist, deflecting the attack. Your knife stabs his wooden desk and sticks there. You may fancy yourself a shrewd operator, Recluse, but I am a master of calculation. To me, you are utterly predictable. He reaches into his inner pocket and pulls out his pistol.
Snitch it.
With a quick twist of your wrist, you snap the gun out of his hand and into yours. Grimly, you press it to his chest and pull the trigger. It clicks empty. A sharp sensation causes you to look down. His other hand holds your knife, just barely pricking the skin over your liver. His eyes glitter darkly. Utterly predictable. You leap forward out of reach. He smiles again and twirls the knife between his fingers like a pen.
Well, there's one thing you can't predict, Poindexter.
You gotta say this the right way. You ready?
Doom jazz.
Doom jazz. Doom jazz. Improvisation. You think improv is unpredictable? Name a funny animal.
Well, a
Penguin.
penguin.
You thought too long for it to be monkey.
I was gonna say giraffe.
Jazz is as predictable as anything else that consists of numbers, fool. And everything consists of numbers.
Oh yeah? Numbers this.
You try to let your mind go blank and feel the vibe of the fight. Then, deciding so quickly that it's hardly a decision at all, you hurl the empty pistol at his...
Groin.
Thank you. I'm so glad. Poindexter catches the gun and casually puts it back in his jacket pocket. I'll put this in simple terms for you, Richard Recluse. You cannot touch me. You are an open ledger to me, and it's one I've already audited. I've calculated your every move down to the second decimal.
Well, Poindexter, if regular jazz can't stop you, and improvisational jazz can't stop you, then I'll just have to invent a new kind of jazz that you can't predict.
Impossible. There is no such thing.
There is no completely random jazz.
You pull a pair of dice out of your pocket, step forward, and slam them on the desk. What? Ridiculous.
That's a pretty good
Wow.
roll.
You karate chop Poindexter in the throat. He manages to jump back just in time to keep his windpipe from being totally crushed, but he's still wheezing in pain. So this is as close to D&D as we're actually going to get. Pretty cool. You feint a jab to Poindexter's face, then smash your fist into his solar plexus. I really feel like a DM. He gasps loudly as the wind is knocked out of him. Ah! You think you can defeat me with a simple table of possible outcomes? I can predict every entry. His eyes turn completely black. Tendrils of shadow drift out of him as a vein throbs on his temple. Your third attack will be your last.
Unfortunately, I have spooky armor, and I am in your walls.
You ignore the dice. Poindexter dodges an attack that doesn't come, and you're waiting right there for him. You grab him by the collar. What?
Jazz isn't the attacks you make, Poindexter. It's the attacks you don't make.
You smash your forehead into the bridge of his nose with a loud crunch. Dark blood fountains into the air as he collapses backwards to the floor.
You were right, you know. My third attack was my last. Get out of here. Leave this place, this country, and don't ever come back. You can predict what will happen if you do.
His eyes have returned to normal once again, defiant even in defeat. I suppose so. I hope you're proud of yourself beating up an old man.
You started it. I finished it.
Perhaps, perhaps, but it needn't be finished just yet. After all, you haven't seen my second form.
Second form?
That's right. I'd be more than happy to show it to you. You would have to fight it, of course. In regular combat, no take-backs. But if you don't, you'll never see it. You'll never know.
Hmm.
You know what I just thought about?
What?
This might have been an okay time to put on that 5 damage limit ring.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Hmm. Obviously, if you were going for the pacifist route, it'd have to be forget it, but since we have long thrown that one out the window.
Fight!
Is that a penis?
No, it's Trogdor.
It sure is. Jeez, that's one hell of a second form. Gross.
Oh, this guy's gonna go down.
Yeah, he's got a buddy behind him.
It's just a spider.
Stab, stab, stab. Remember your
What?
shiv. Remember your
Yes, yes,
shiv.
yes, 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 yes.
Oh yeah, you've got him. With an AP to spare. Never mind that. No, you don't. But then, do you need it? Goodbye. You won. And you did it while getting a minimum of giant worm slime on you. Terrence's neatly organized desk. There isn't any information about Uncle Murray in here. You can tell because it would be clearly labeled and filed under M. You do find an important looking key filed under KIL, though.
I don't get it.
Hmm. A
Oh,
little,
K through IL. I get it.
a little slab of weird metal chained to a souvenir keychain shaped like the Black House. Assuming this is a two-way horrible shadow maw, want to go back to the IRS office?
Sure.
Can you get out the normal way now?
Yes.
Alright, so there's still somewhere to go. The nerve center of the whole thing. One last little bit of levity before we jump into this mess.
Sleaze, and then two sleaze, and then a stench.
Slide the key into the lock and turn. Both key and lock suddenly disintegrate, leaving the gate unsecured.
But I'm not gonna go.
No?
Because this key has failed me for the last time.
Ah, so you're going to go through the uncursing project.
I am.
The key jumps up to the roof of the dome and sticks there, shaking and keening, that's the sound keys make, against the metal. The lights in the store whine, flicker, and then cut out completely. Damn it! Only when the power is out does the key calm down, give up the most odious part of itself to the machine, and drop back down in your lap. Light returns to the store. Fixed it! We had a spare light bulb under the cat. The key's curse lingers in the machine. It is itself an arcane lock, to be solved only by a projection of consciousness. Now what about it? Putting that terrible key on a chain has rendered it decorative.
Oh boy. Oh, now we're the detective.
Yeah, this is the original curse from that mesh.
Mm-hmm.
I have assembled everyone just as you asked, Detective. The victim's wife and the two men who were present in the passenger car at the time. I confess the truth of this murder continues to elude me, but no doubt you are soon to enlighten us with your great powers of deduction and observation.
Do we want to inspect the body again, or do we want to take a moment?
A moment to do what?
That's a good question.
Leap.
May I inspect the body again?
No, that wouldn't be fair to the other passengers who haven't had a look yet.
I see.
But I will tell you again what I know. At 11:13 a.m., the professor dropped dead in his chair after sitting down with his wife for a spot of tea. At that time, Mrs. Rio Kenshi and Mr. Andretti were the only other passengers present in this car. Mr. Perry returned later. The rest I leave to you to deduce, Detective.
I need a moment.
Niccolo Andretti, a businessman. Yume Rio Kenshi, the victim's wife. Martin Perry, a youth. The train coroner.
That's very funny.
The young man is absent-mindedly but methodically disassembling and reassembling a fountain pen. It's as I said. Yes, the man was a professor of mine at Burgerworth College, and yes, he gave me a C and a D. But that's no reason to kill a man, wouldn't you agree? Besides, at the time of his death, I was in the lavatory trying to figure out what all the bits and pieces do. Which bits and pieces the perfect alibi, wouldn't you say?
Detective mode.
Practice mode. Deductive observations wing about your mind.
He's right. A mere C and D are no reason to kill one's professor. But is that the whole story? Observe how the boy tinkers with the fountain pen and the train lavatory. He fancies himself a mechanic, but he wouldn't get a foot in the door of that profession if his C and D stood for car dunce. Nobody would be able to hire him unless the professor awarded those ignominious grades died. In that event, every grade he ever gave would be voided, and this young man could take a plum job in a car manufacturer and start earning the big bucks.
Hmm.
Have you ever seen Murder on the Orient Express?
I've not.
Have you ever read it?
No, I don't frequent Reddit very much either, I'm afraid.
But cha!
Ah! Yeah.
Well, it's entirely
Rio.
possible that this is the same plot as the other one.
Hmm. The widow Rio Kenshi dabs her eyes with a handkerchief embroidered with the words "mourning rags and wipes." A moment's privacy, please, detective. I had nothing to do with my husband's death and no reason to want him gone. He was a kind man and not a rich one. Everything he made, he spent on the roulette tables. He owned over 700 of them. That's the largest collection in the world. We were traveling to Yorba Linda so the mayor could give my husband the key to the city, but that won't happen now.
Detective mode.
Practice mode. You deduced that you should make some observations.
Sometimes the simplest answer is the correct one. She said she had no reason to wish her husband dead, but the chemical stain in her cuticles and the fingerprints on the window above, which she was trying to open to dispose of the murder weapon, tell the tale most truly. But the nose reveals even more. Observing the zigzag pattern of the medial cleft below the nostrils, it's called Petrie's philtrum, and it's a rare genetic condition she shares with Martin Perry, her son.
Hmm. The businessman Andretti adjusts his cufflinks. I told you I'd never even heard of this man. I know of Burgerworth College, of course, it's an excellent institution, but I didn't know he was a professor there. Now come on, let's not delay this journey further. I'm traveling with 19 suitcases of exotic rubbers to make new and exciting wheels at the factory. Practice mode. You observe closely to see what you can deduce.
Exotic rubber, eh? No doubt from the jungles of Almodovar, whose local brand of nicotine I smell on his collar. Of course, the rubber plants of Almodovar don't just yield material for bouncy tires, but also an odorless poison, lethal when drunk in hot tea. But why would this man abet the murders of a stranger? I suspect the answers lie in the resume on the table and the name printed on it. Martin Perry.
Oh my. Oh my. Yes, detective.
Tell me again what you know of this case. Okay, it's the same thing. I have solved this murder.
It was never in doubt, detective. Now tell us all. What
The
happened here?
the victim was poisoned by
Yes, go on.
Yume Ryushenko.
What?
Please, all will become clear. With exotic poison from the Almodovar rubber tree, to avoid Martin Perry's car dunce grade so he could make tires for Mr. Andretti. Young Martin Perry dreams of working on cars, and his fresh ideas excite Mr. Andretti, who runs a tire factory. But Master Perry's professor was effectively blacklisted him, had us effectively blacklisted him as a car dunce, unemployable. What to do? Kill the professor, of course, and void that odious grade. Here the plot becomes most wretched. Master Perry's mother, Yumi Ryokenshi, marries the professor and arranges for him to be present on the very same train as Master Perry and Mr. Andretti, who supplies an undetectable poison administered by Miss Roy Kenshi.
Rio
Ryo,
Kench.
Ryo Kenshi. I think there's an extra syllable in there, but there isn't. Et voila! No more professor, no more Cardons. But there is one thing our three conspirators did not count on. Me.
Before you proceed here, is it any coincidence that the lady's name contains two very core members of another gaming franchise together?
Hadoken!
That's exactly it. I'm not ashamed. Any parent, sir, would do the same, as would any manager seeking new talent with interesting ideas about tires. If you call someone a card dunce, you're branding them for life, and you're responsible for anything that happens next. How awful. The three of them in it together. Tell you what, detective, at the next stop, they can all get out and take the bus.
A sick business.
Quite so. But a wonderful feeling, I think, to be possessed of great gifts. Great powers of deduction and observation. And to use them. Here's another. Gift, that is. Call it a reward. A gift from a trained coroner in a dream, or in something. Nice ring, isn't it? Look what rewards accrue to the powerful. Look how the world itself reveals itself at your touch.
Huh, we can go back if we don't like the result.
Same result I got, so I mean, I don't fucking know. You are really as good as the papers say, detective, to sniff out that my C and D grades stood for car dunce. Yes, I put the whole plot in motion, of course I did. Getting called a car dunce ruined any shot I had at a career in wheels. But a man's entitled to make a living, wouldn't you agree? This was the only way. I admit, detective, I poisoned my husband. Oh, but spare me the reproach. Wouldn't you do just as I did if some scoundrel of the ivory tower branded your son a car dunce? No? Then I dare say you are not a parent, sir. I confess, detective, I supplied the poison that killed the professor. But wasn't it worth it? Look at this resume of Martin Perry. Look at these interesting ideas he has about tires. Bouncier, globular, backwards. Is the life of one man worth more than bringing new and innovative wheels to the world? Yes, I did it so I could hire Mr. Perry, and I would do it again tomorrow. Don't lie, detective. You would too.
I wonder what happens if we murder the guy. I wonder what happens to the ring then.
Good question. You're gonna have to do all the solving again.
Nope.
If you leave now, the curse doesn't get resolved.
Oh, son of a bitch!
You wanna try your... Okay. What are you doing, detective? You've already solved the case. You were given great power and you used it. Don't you remember? Don't you remember the ring? You're being foolish now. What are you doing? I see what you're doing. You really want to live without this power? You really want to live in the dark? Give it back now. That ring. You don't deserve it.
I uncurse you.
So, did that curse effectively try to bribe you into destroying it? That's a little disconcerting. You look at the key that once harbored its shadowy magic. It shimmers in the light. You check your finger and pockets. No mysterious owl ring. You are reminded of the great figures of history who wielded incredible power and chose to give it up. You can't think of anyone specifically, but the concept is interesting to consider.
Cincinnatus? Right?
Hmm?
Cincinnatus? He was
I
he was like the Roman who was forced into being dictator, solved the crisis, and then gave up being a dictator to go back to being a farmer, right?
I do not know this. I'll go with you on that.
Who was someone famous who gave up great power?
He's not famous, but my dad never eats more than he needs to at a buffet. I don't remember where I read this, but there's a rumor that Anne Boleyn had access to a tank but chose not to use it. No need, she said. And you know who else had a tank? Walt Whitman.
Interesting. I forgot to look at the uncursed key. Okay.
Is it time for endgame?
Indeed.
You notice a massive caterpillar sitting atop a half-collapsed pillar. It stares at you with sad, dead eyes. Its hair, fabulous. It doesn't speak. It just hands you a glob of hair gel and disappears into an ass crack in the column.
Nice.
You're too late.
Oh,
What?
hey.
Richard!
It's Uncle Murray. Uncle Murray, you okay?
Surprisingly fine, kiddo. Not sure why they didn't just murder me, but I'm glad they didn't.
Me too. We've got to stop the president from doing whatever her crazy plan is.
Damned right we do. But wait a minute. What's that?
What's what?
You've got something behind your ear.
Don't ever change, Uncle Murray. Whatever happened to you?
Well, Jessica told you how I've been hunting a series of cursed artifacts, right?
Yep, that's how I found you. We've been using the detectortron to find more of them, to try and follow the trail.
So, Charles got that thing working finally. That sure would have saved me some trouble. Anyway, a fella sold me a pen that could only write obscenities. Turned out with a little coaxing, you could also get it to write its real owner's current address, which was here. I wrote that letter to you before coming to stake out the place. They caught me while I was snooping around.
Who's this president woman?
I don't know much about her, just that her name's Margaret something. Thatcher, perhaps. 11 years ago, her barn exploded. That's where all the artifacts came from, I think. They were stuff that was in the barn at the time.
That must have been one heck of an explosion.
No kidding. 5 years later, she's city comptroller, and now I guess she's shadow president? Whatever that is.
What is she planning?
Wish I knew. She built some kind of crazy machine, but I don't know exactly what it's for. With the amount of shadow energy she's collecting to power it, it can't be anything good.
How do we stop her?
Well, she set up 3 big, weird pylons, obelisks, or something. I think their function is to pull shadow energy directly out of wherever it comes from and pump it into her machine here in the Black House.
So we should destroy those?
Yep, ideally before her machine does whatever it's meant for doing.
Destroy three things. Good. It's nice to have a specific, straightforward goal for once. Pretty sure I've seen all three of them before. Not far from here, yeah?
Somewhere in Government Valley. Past that, I'm not sure.
Well, I guess that was all my questions. Well, all the relevant questions.
Then we'd better get moving.
Let's go!
Whatever this is measuring, you don't want any of it. This machine indicates the level of ambient awfulness.
Oh,
You can't even figure this thing out enough to sabotage it.
there's a little bit of shadow out there, but I can't reach it.
I do not remember where these things were.
Oop, I
Off
have
head.
accidentally... I accidentally...
This diabolical machine goes about its sinister business.
So, this is the pylon thing you mentioned, Murray?
I never saw a diagram or what have you, but looking at it, I think that's a pretty safe assumption.
And I just have to destroy it?
And the other two. But yes, destroying them should cut off the majority of the power to the President's machine, and presumably unseal the Black House. Easier said than done, though. That thing's made of pure adamantium alloy.
Pure what now?
Shadow metal. A strange metal pillar thrums, fulfilling its terrible, terrible purpose. That weird ring Jessica gave you is vibrating like crazy. You could probably chuck it into the woods here and really screw things up. If you're totally out of ideas, here's a really terrible one on the house. You could just try punching it with your fists until it stops working. You used up the ring on this, huh?
Yep.
This twisted pylon has been destroyed. But now, next question. Do you lose the ring permanently?
Well, considering I was wearing it before and now I'm not.
Well, put on another ring, I guess. Why? Okay. I'm still lost on makes you longer. I mean, I have the obvious guess, but that's about it. I'm honestly kind of hoping that throwing the ring into one of those pylons and blowing it up disrupted the entire network, but I'm not supremely confident that that's how this went. Yep. Are you sure? It might work, but your hands won't anymore. Strange middle. Oh, you turn back from it?
Hello?
Oh, weird. Hey, is that Richard? This is Rufus.
Rufus, how do you know I was here?
I didn't. It's just a coincidence. My brother hunting device calculated that as the best spot to open a wormhole to this location. Since there's a payphone there, I figured I'd call ahead to check.
Wormhole? I thought it was a communications device.
Well, it turns out the Pearl is crazy powerful, and wormholes are a form of communication according to quant.
That's a crazy shadow pillar thing here. There's a crazy shadow pillar thing here. I could use some help dealing with it.
That explains some of these readings. Hang on, I'll be right there. Is he warping it?
Good luck, Rufus.
Alright. Okay, so we've burned up Rufus.
I don't remember where the last one was.
My best guess, Army recruitment.
Really?
You've hit telephony and Vista, right?
Please hold. This will take a minute or two.
That a boy, beanbag. All right. Every hit maximally effective. You good?
Perhaps. I just got a message that I need to answer. Okay. Alright.
Now then.
Beanbag's growing quite healthy.
Indeed. I guess it's not here. Um.
Oh, this will be over very quickly.
Yes, indeed it will. Ah, PDQ.
Hello?
Richard, this is Johnny, the Hobo King. My secret Hobo King powers alerted me that you might be in need.
How did you know what number to call?
I just picked up my phone and it connected me to you. Is that not how phones work?
Well, anyway, yes, I do need some help. There's a big weird pillar thing here that needs to be destroyed.
No problem. I'll send a crew of hobos immediately.
Thanks. I wonder what the one... I wonder if I hadn't thrown the ring in, who would have come help me.
Hmm. Well, I ain't tossing that ring, so we'll find out on Friday.
Yep.
Murray's expression is a jumble. All right, that's the last one. Come on, we've got to get back to the Black House and put a stop to whatever the President's plan is. Which might be world domination or world destruction or maybe both. Honestly, with as much as I was able to learn before they caught me, that's a real glaring gap in my knowledge. We may well be able to finish this tonight.
Jumble of excitement, awe, and fear. This may
This may be
be...
unclear from the picture. You rush into the foyer of the Black House. Murray leads you up a corridor and down a flight of stairs to a huge basement laboratory. The room is dominated by a massive, writhing tear in space, seemingly confined to an adamantium frame. The President is typing furiously at a computer console nearby, but she turns around momentarily when you enter. She glares at you, practically hissing. I knew I shouldn't have trusted that idiot Poindexter to deal with you. I noticed the shadow flow has dropped back to ambient levels. I assume that was your doing?
Yeah, I busted up your weird pillars, and now I'm busting up you!
Ooh, oh no. I'd be real upset if you weren't too late.
Ah, nuts.
Yeah, nuts to you. The portal is open, and after I make these last few calibrations, the Emperor of all Shadows will be summoned to this plane to kneel before me. I will rule this universe, not as the President of Shadows, but the Empress.
Oh, that's a much bigger goal than I was expecting.
Yeah, well, go big or go home, right? Anyway, don't try to stop me. Without my attention at this console to keep the reaction steady, this thing could implode and turn the whole tri-state area into a smoking crater.
Jeez, well, okay. Mind if I have a look around?
Sure, whatever. Just don't pester me unless you want everyone who ever heard of you to die.
Okay.
Murray's holding a weird something?
What's that?
A numbertanium bomb. I cobbled it together from parts I found lying around while you were distracting the president. Good job.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Yeah, that was totally intentional. But, what's your plan exactly? From what she said, it sounded pretty bad to mess with this stuff.
She's trying to summon something, right? I figure by applying enough pressure at just the right time, we can reverse the flow and make it an out portal instead of an in portal.
I get it. So it'll suck her out into space, no problem.
Well, not exactly. Or rather, yes, but that's not the end of it. We also have to take care of whatever's waiting on the other side of that portal.
Oh, you're saying I have to go through and fight it, aren't you?
I don't know if it'll be a literal fight or what, but yeah, that's the long and the short of it, kiddo. This is the end game, and there's no coming back from this. Are you ready?
Well,
Actually, let me be more explicit. This is literally the end game. Once I set off this bomb and you go through that portal, you can't come back, and the game ends one way or another. But nothing gets saved after you go, so you can reload back to here and keep playing afterwards.
I don't really understand what you mean by that.
That's okay, kiddo. It wasn't really you I was talking to.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. It was good seeing you again, kiddo. I think I got this bomb wired so I can toss it and set it off from here by overloading this other who's it, which hopefully won't end up getting me killed. But whatever happens, you gotta jump through right away. I don't know how much time you'll have.
Jeez. Okay, well, be careful.
You too, kiddo. Ready?
Yeah.
Go be a hero. Here
Here
goes
goes
nothing.
nothing.
Ah, jeez. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Resolution. You and Simone and the President and her machines and a sizable chunk of the floor appear in the middle of a pale void lit by the just arrived light of stars that burned out uncountable eons ago. Ah, no! What did you do?
Hmm. Threw a little monkey wrench into that plan of yours.
Don't try to act cool about this. You don't have the slightest idea what kind of power you're messing with.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Welcome, playthings. You look over to the right and where you see a hovering swarm of giant mouths and eyes. You get the feeling that this is your brain's best attempt to render what you're actually seeing in a way that won't simply annihilate your mind. In particular, that.
Oh.
Was this whole deal just a giant monkey's paw? Like, did I achieve ultimate power, but also get cursed to be constantly surrounded by morons?
Hey.
This portal frame still looks intact. Maybe I can reopen it and fix this.
You can get us back?
I can get me back and then continue with my plan to summon the Emperor to our universe under controllable conditions, as intended, yes.
Oh, what if I don't want you to do that?
Do I look like someone who gives a hot crap what you want? Go away. Die in the void.
Sheesh. Someone's cranky. I like the parallaxing on this.
Yeah. Barring your access to the control console is the President of Shadows. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to my realm.
What are you?
I am what the shadow is the shadow of.
Oh, that's a nice job, if you can get it.
It's a living.
Hey, you seem like a pretty hip cat.
Ridiculous.
Look, let's just discuss.
Your words have no power here.
Listen, Buster, you'd better.
Ah ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
You didn't beg?
no.
This technology is incomprehensible to you. You inspect the portal frame, but can't think of anything to do with it which would help. Which implies that you missed some optional stuff, but that's what replays are for.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe that's the shadow stuff that we were avoiding so that we could be friends with the hobos.
possible.
Hi.
She grinds her teeth and ignores you.
Any chance I could get you to give up on your plans to enslave humanity and the universe in general?
Johnson Christ, if I had brought a gun with me, you'd be so dead right now.
Do you blame yourself?
You said that like you think it's a real meaningful and cutting question. What the hell are you blathering about?
The barn explosion that killed your parents.
You hand her the memorial card. She looks at it for a moment, then tosses it aside. Nice try, but I made my peace with that little mishap years ago. I have no family, no ties, and I don't care.
And now you're all alone.
She turns back to the console, ignoring you.
Do you blame yourself? And now you're all alone. Do you blame yourself? All alone. Blame alone.
Are you done trying to create causality?
Look, can't we talk about this?
No, we can't.
But
I will
what if
strangle you with my bare hands first. Seems to me there's only one thing you can actually do here. Well, two things, really.
I will not surrender to it?
Then that leaves one.
Well, I suppose it hasn't actually done anything hostile to us.
Yeah, but you've exhausted all else aside from fight surrender.
Yeah, I'm choosing between fight and surrender. I'm not convinced this guy is actually evil.
Whatever we choose, that's how this stream series ends.
I just don't know enough about him to surrender to it.
Hmm.
Also, that sounds like it might be the shadow ending.
Ah ha ha! Fight me? Very well. I will give you one chance. All or nothing.
See, this is like a reasonable dude.
As you draw your weapon, you hear someone behind you. Hi, hello. Gabby is here to give the fight. Thought you might could use a little help, bud. You're not sure how they made it in here, but you'll take all the help you can get.
It's time.
The mouth is shielded, heads up.
Ooh, that's a spicy meatball!
How much power does the president have? A lot.
That's a lot of moxie.
How do you want to use your shiv? This seems pretty important now. The spider? You chose the spider?
That was a mistake. I meant to pick the eye.
Alright, you've broken the shielded. Actually, you might be able to make the shiv against a different enemy.
Mm-hmm.
One per customer. Nice. I mean, I'd keep using the fucking shiv. Ooh. Got any pet pills? Or any AP boosts? There you go. Oh shit. That's good.
Where do we get these things?
Uh, I honestly don't remember them, but that'll give you some real serious help here.
Mm-hmm.
Especially given how much damage that Timp is doing to the president. Okay, that's one down. You can get a ton of AP if you keep using those inhalers.
Yeah.
Not to mention the regen factor if you wind up needing it, which it doesn't seem like you will. Yeah, take everything down you can.
The only winning move is to not let you play.
Yeah, because if that thing gets to play, he could take you all out in one swoop.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, we have our spider here tanking for us.
Doesn't look like you'll need it. 5 more temps, including another inhaler. Oh yeah, good.
You got a pretty mouth.
Alright.
Actually, we may not even needed to. We may not have needed to use that. Yeah, we didn't.
That's okay. Whatever gets it done, gets it done.
Basic. Taught.
Nice going.
Hey, it's the TV.
Well, sometimes the best way to deal with a universe-destroying threat is to just hit it with something until it stops moving. Nice work. After the metaphorical smoke cleared, you found yourself stuck in the weird extra-dimensional space where the final showdown happened. Unfortunately, the fact that you created a temporal paradox before you left the universe meant that you could never come back to normal reality.
What was the temporal paradox we created?
That was back at Crystal Lake, I think.
Which one?
Uh, not sure. You waited a billion years, and that was only the beginning. Actually, it's meaningless to say it was the beginning. The first billion years weren't any different than the next billion. You were still there. You always had been. The universe ended, and you weren't in it. Murray's bomb blasted him past the borders of reality. He drifted outside of the world for a span of time that might have been 5 minutes or 5,000 years. The only way to be sure is to not press a key for 5,000 years. Then you'll know it was that long. A few weeks later, Jessica accidentally activated the failsafe interdimensional homing teleporter Murray had left in one of his desk drawers. She was looking for a pen. Murray was wrenched through the ether and then unceremoniously dumped on the floor of the antique store. I spent a while trying to figure out what happened to you, but didn't have any luck. Being outside of the entirety of time and space makes you pretty hard to track down. Eventually, Murray gave up and started looking for another relative to help him with his future ventures. The Recluse's Web did a brisk trade until the end of Prohibition, at which point it did an even brisker one. Obi decided to leave the hobo's life behind and just play the oboe full-time. When they started televising underground bare-knuckle boxing, Gabby got really excited and joined a league.
We got the championship belt from that league.
Her combat style was a mixture of different martial arts that came to be known as super weird fighting. Simone went on to become the chair of the SIT Robotectronics Department. Thanks to your tireless crime fighting, the streets of Ocean City have never been safer. King Johnny got the camp loaded into the ocean, with Samuel and Agamemnon doing most of the heavy lifting.
Agamemnon.
Anonymity. With the wind at their backs, they set sail for different shores. Thanks to Ovid and Croesus, the expedition was comfortable and well-funded. Sure, it got boring at times, but Howie entertained folks with his harmonica, and Dusty brought a deck of cards.
Man, this is a better ending than Mass Effect 3.
Whenever anybody got scratched up or seasick, Doc was there to provide some medical attention. The nights were cold, but between Beatrice's wool and Calendula's moonshine, everybody kept pretty cozy. They ate creamed fish thanks to Walter and Creamy Steve. Cornelius and Beanie provided cornbread and beans. Mossman provided fine herbs and exotic spices. After a long and difficult journey, they had arrived at the land they'd promised to themselves. They founded a new nation. A nation of hobos, by hobos, for hobos, with liberty and justice for hobos. Marvin went on to set the world record for mailbox sitting. He held the record for nearly a week. He has recently become interested in flagpoles. Oh, God. The bishop's inspection went swimmingly, and the vicar of St. Polycarp's was soon promoted to vice pope. With that whole grisly murder business behind her, Miss Brewster went on to win the Boarding House of the Decade award from the International Salesmen's League. Crystal's store was moderately successful, but she was confident that in about 40 years, business would boom.
Why? The invention of the laser?
70 years from now, the historical village of Sandwich is still a popular tourist attraction. It's particularly popular among mixed-up hipsters who get it confused with Sandwich, Brooklyn.
Sorry, I need to just interrupt this program. um, and we're back.
Your accomplishments in the field of metaacoustics continue to ring through the halls of SIT.
I get it, because it's a sound.
This is due to a malfunction in the equipment, and facility says it will be fixed soon. Your Spiders students decided to do a little bit of field research in Crystal Dream Valley.
Spiders.
Went about as well as you'd expect.
Well, spiders need to eat too.
In 1981, Mudhenge was acquired by the Stonehenge Corporation, renamed Stonehenge Mud, and shut down.
Good. Fuck that place.
In 100 years, you were the only non-nudist to find its center. With your help, Rhonda Rasmussen became the first person in history to fly all the way around a swamp.
Amazing.
Her fame lasted until nearly a month later when Charles Lindbergh was seen buying a new set of shoelaces. Haim Quarry went bankrupt after the workers fled in the night. Most of them made it back to the city and found new jobs, which could not possibly have been worse than their old jobs. Occam's Gator became the majority shareholder in Largemouth Bass and Sons and replaced the staff with graduates willing to work for exposure to fish. Paul Leathers used his new tongue to preach nonviolence and counseled many a troubled youth away from a life of big game hunting. To appease his brother, John Leathers agreed to read a book on pacifism. In time, the wreck of the Longfellow was swallowed by the whole swamp. Though a boat may be long, not is longer than nature's mouth. Stand by, I need a further piss, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. The nearby bathroom has been occupied by my brother for about 3 fucking hours straight.
Jeez. He needs to drink more water.
The kid with glasses spent a week bragging after you proved his theory about big hands. The plant kid will happily wear Mossman's mustache for the rest of his life. The chemist kid is still reeling from the whiff of the smell of the wisp you brought her. The radio kid still proudly wears the feather you brought him from Barbara Yagara. The kid with the wrench still tells stories about the time you captured the Chuparanja. The fly girl is still grateful for the chest hair you brought her from Flemberg. Will Hunter moved to international waters to escape federal prosecution for marble fraud. The Mulross place remained uninhabited until the 1990s when it became a hotbed for swinging, sexy singles.
That was the one with the interdimensional bullshit
Yep,
wormholes.
that's the one.
I don't get the joke here.
With no natural predators to thin their numbers, McMillican-Cuddy's sheep bred out of control.
This is the guy who we got rid of the ducks for.
Yeah. He went on to become the region's primary supplier of both mittens and mutton. Despite all your efforts, the maize may say pretty much exactly the same. Forever. Billy made sure of that. The workers at the Ford compound were able to get the factory machinery back up and running. After months of research and hard work, they were finally able to make a car entirely out of beans. It smelled awful and nobody would buy it, so they ended up abandoning it on the streets of Ocean City. The old ham mill never spun again. Rufus emerged from his portal somewhere deep underground. He didn't know where he was, but he knew he was one step closer to his brother. That was all that mattered. The end.
Good.
Wow, what a thing, though.
And like,
Here's
I
all.
really want to go back and do some stuff differently. Not differently, but like I want to resolve some things.
Mm,
I want to figure out uh, what time paradox we made.
mm.
Well, it's
Well,
10:30.
indeed, right about the time I would ordinarily have signaled a warning, but knowing that we were about to get done here, figure may as well finish this off.
Yeah.
I do have a couple other friends that have indicated desire to do some streaming with me, so I'm gonna get off here for now, and I'll let you know when I'm ready to spin back.
Yep. I've got another game that I've got another couple. I've got a list of games I want to play with you when next you want to stream with me again.
And I have a list of games that you have indicated wanting to do as well.
I think so. Okay, it would mean a lot to me if you could help me get through Quest for Glory 2.
You want to do that one next?
Yes.
All right. I shall let you know then when I'm next available. I've got two partners who want to play something. One who wants to go through Duke Nukem Forever,
Oh
and wants
man.
and one who wants to go through the brand new Oregon Trail.
Oh, I didn't know that existed.
Yep.
Hmm.
Apparently, it's entirely different than any Oregon Trail game that's ever been up before, short of the premise and general idea.
Sacrilege!
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm choosing to give it a chance because I trust this person's judgment as a gamer.
Hmm.
And yeah, after that, I expect to be ready to go again.
Sounds good.
In the meantime, this has been an absolute blast. Thank you so much.
Ah, my pleasure. Literally my
And
pleasure. I really did that.
and with where we are on the Friday night run of this, I expect that we will be able to get all the way through that in a single session as well.
Yeah,
So,
makes sense.
until next time then, thank y'all and remember all it cost you was
A choice.
and my dignity.
Indeed.
Good night,
Fellows
friends.
Canterbury choosers, and may you reach the moon.
What?